Hey, 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 happy Thursday, y'all, and welcome to Bankroll Your Brains Thursdays. I'm Nicole Roberts Jones, known as a Bankroll Your Brains expert, always excited and blessed to be here to hold the space for you as we talk from one of three topics every week. Number one, what is your brilliance? Your purpose, your niche, the one thing God created you to do and be in this world. The second is the value tied to it. And the third one is how do you create multiple streams of income from it? So our topic today really is in alignment with area number two and area number three. But before I start going in, y'all know how I do. If you've been here before, I'm looking down on my phone so I can see comments because I don't see them up here. Wondering if maybe they're coming on my phone. You guys know I always say, don't come in this house and not speak, as my grandmother would say. So you're in my virtual house today. So at least tell me, hey, girl, and tell us where you are in the world as we begin to dig into our topic for today. Now, I got to tell you, this expert, before I read her bio to you, when I first started in my own business, and I love to tell this story because she's so much a connection and community minded coach. So I remember I had my first huge speaking event, fish out of water, fish out of the sea, not even out of the water. I was used to being in the pond, and here I am in the sea. It was the Urban League National Convention. I come off stage, I have a booth. My line was so long, and I was so not ready for that. Pam, who I did not know, who you're getting to meet, this guest, gets out of line and not only coaches me, but starts to move the line and help me. That's who she be. So you need to get ready because this is an expert that has been in the field for years, and she's going to drop some knowledge on you as we talk about why speaking is the best PR tool. Her name is Dr. Pam Perry. Now, Pam is an award-winning marketing, communications, and PR professional. She helps established experts and experienced entrepreneurs stand out from the competition so they can attract new clients from their buzzworthy story. She's also the publisher of Speakers Magazine and podcast host of the Speakers Magazine show. After working with Dr. Pam, her clients have been featured on, and I'm one of them, have been featured on CNN, TBN, the Word Network, Radio One, Oprah Magazine, Essence, Ebony, Black Enterprise, PBS, just to name a few. She's been called by Publishers Weekly a PR guru and featured in, and listen, I'm not going to even read the hundreds, probably almost thousands of radio and TV and magazines that she's been on. Let's get her up here and y'all help me welcome Dr. Pam Perry. Hey. Now you see, look, she got her own sound effects. Y'all already know. Now, again, as you're coming in, if you have questions, don't hesitate. If she steps on your toes, say ouch, because she probably will step on mine. So, Pam, I love that you've been in the industry. I didn't want to say a number. How long has it been that you've been doing this work?
Started my company at about 40, and that was 20 years obviously before I've been in corporate, so I don't want to say, but it's been a minute.
Right. It's probably older than some of y'all, right? And I want you to get that the thing that I love about you is you are always cutting edge and always thinking outside of the box. So a few years ago, you started Speakers Magazine. Now, as a PR professional, I knew she was going to pull up the magazine, right? As a PR professional.
These are two of my favorites. This is
and one of those is me. Yay.
Yes.
And I've actually been on two covers of Speaker Magazine. And so tell us, as a PR professional, why Speakers Magazine and why speaking one of the best tools that you can use?
So, Dr. Nicole, so one of the things is that you teach all the time about making sure your purpose matches your passion so you can get profit. So started Ministry Marketing Solutions in 2020. I started out really to help those that have a message to market their out to the world, right? Whether that message is a Christian message, an inspirational message, but they were books. Okay. So they were books. So I was a literary publicist and I was helping people with books, kind of like the way I went in when I saw you with your book. Because
she was like, baby, you can't talk to everybody. Now, mind you, I didn't know her. And she took over. I was so thankful. Some people may have gotten offended, but you've got to be coachable. She took over. It was so good. Anyway, go ahead.
I was like, okay, so that's where it started. It was like helping everybody promote their books. I'm a promoter. I help people amplify and market. That's Pam, P-A-M, right? So promoting, amplifying, and helping them market. And so from there, it's like, okay, so in order for books to sell, which is what you did, is you have to speak. So after you spoke, people were going to buy that book. And so really it changed and shift from just so much promoting the book as promoting the speaking or promoting the message, the whole expertise that speakers want to share. And
Right.
that's where it really started. And so, as many stages as you can get on is your best PR tool, because the best form of advertising is word of mouth. So the words that come out of your mouth are what really people are going to respond to. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, all right. So we've got this literary publicist thing I was doing. It whole shifted with the self-publishing thing. And then it was like, okay, then digital marketing, social media became like, okay, the gatekeepers are gone. You don't really need a publicist so much to push you in front of the media as much as you need to really understand how to own your own media, which is a show that we did before. You can go back to the episodes and talk about that. But then from there, it's like, really, what was the next really shift
Yeah.
from that? Okay. And it's really about SEO. If a conference organizer can't find you in Google and you're positioned properly, they won't book you. And so you
Mhm.
need the speaking reel, you need all of those things in the media kit. And so really Speakers Magazine became like that tool. So not only is Nicole like an author, but she's a speaker, she's positioned as a speaker. People will know that she also has events. I mean, this is just like their tool that we can mail out, send out. It's online, it's a physical copy. And so that's like that propeller that people need. I felt that
Mhm.
they needed. And so I really couldn't figure out, like, anytime I do anything, it's like I never really have a roadmap, but it's just like I know that there's an idea that needs to be pushed further. I see there's a need in the market, just like with Ministry Marketing Solutions
Mhm.
in 2020. People weren't talking about marketing their ministry, right? This was way before the word network. This is way before really TD Jakes became like the marketing machine that he is now. But
Mhm.
I knew that people who have a Christian message, if we can market cars and hamburgers and hot dogs, then we definitely can market a message. And so I just took my passion for books, for Black authors, for Black experts, like Black doctors, and say, okay, then how can we take all of their information and really share it out to the media so that people will know that we're here? Because they always say, oh,
Mhm.
we don't know anybody. Well, now you know. Now
Right.
you know that we got a lot of them, right? We got a lot of them, and they're packaged properly and positioned properly.
And let's
That's
talk about that. Listen, because positioning is so big, and I had to interrupt her because listen, and you and I talk about this all the time. The number of people that come that want to be seen because they just want to be popular or famous, or they want recognition. When it's that's to me, it's irresponsible with your platform.
yes,
So
yes.
I so go ahead.
Someone asked me at the other day. I asked him, I said, so what would success be to you for getting PR if you want to engage our services? He says, to get more Instagram followers and Instagram likes. I was like, hello, that's not PR. That's like vanity at
And
that
that's like
point.
a waste of energy, because here's the thing: just because somebody likes you on Facebook or follows you on Instagram, it does not equal revenue. And if
No.
you're building a business, okay, the number of people that walk up to me and go, "Oh, no, I want to be a speaker." Okay. And so you want to be a speaker about what? I want to motivate people. Okay, great. You want to motivate them to do what? And they can't answer that because it's
Hmm.
bigger than just being a speaker. It's having a speaking business. That's
Yes.
what you promote, because if you speak on stage for 45 to 60 minutes, you are not moving anybody's life or business forward. There's no way that you can't give them enough in 45 to 60 minutes. So it's irresponsible to not have more. The PR that you do leads to more.
It does. And public speaking is just one tool, but it's a powerful tool to really promote yourself, your business, to increase your visibility. That's a great place to start. Conferences, there's conferences, virtual conferences and regular conferences, but the main thing is to making the most out of them.
Mhm.
And Nicole, you're going to a conference in a few weeks. It is getting on the platform, letting people hear your message. But when you actually are doing the public speaking, going to the events, it's the networking. It's the networking. Who is in the
Mhm.
room? I always say those that show up go up. So you got to be in the room. And once they hear you from the stage, making those connections is really important. And then following up on those connections. It's your own personal PR program
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
a publicist can really get you out to the masses. But when you are designing your own personal PR program, you're going to speak at an event, you're speaking from the stage. After you get off the stage, then who do you make the connections with, or who heard you that will make because you did such a great messaging, you had clarity on your message, who they can refer you to.
Right.
That's
Right.
who you have to be clear on your message. So that's the main
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. And that's why. Hey, Stephanie. That's why I love, when we have these conversations about it's more than just being seen. It's ultimately what are you doing and being responsible with the eyeballs that
Mhm.
you're now acquiring and coming to you. And just motivation is not enough. I'm going to say this over and over because you can get motivated and inspired or empowered at church for free.
Mhm.
It's really how do you activate it and really move them into more action. When I think about who you be, what do you think is like the number one misnomer that people have about having a publicist?
Woo. They don't look under the trunk, right? They just see all the stuff on the outside. So looking under the hood, right? Going into the trunk, like what were how did she get on CNBC? Let's just talk about that. How did Nicole Roberts Jones get on CNBC? First of all, it took a relationship of knowing the producer and the producer knowing who I was, and then that I'm basically credible. I'm not going to give them anybody that's not credible that has the stuff. And so Nicole had the stuff. It was a story that matched what they were looking for, and basically Nicole had the right look. She had the right background. She had the B-roll. She had the sound bites. Her website and all of her digital foundations were flawless because what they're looking for getting on Shepard's show, he's an icon. So
Mhm.
they need the person. So if CNBC is here, they need you to be here as well. So you need to match that. And so someone says, well, if I just get on CNBC, then I'll have more visibility. But no, they don't want to bring anyone that's down here. They want someone to match them there. So it's like, are they always going to interview famous people? No, they want to interview people who are ready. They want to interview people who have the press kit, the B-roll, the speaker kit. Their website is together. There's no conflicting messages. That they Google you, there's nothing out there that's kind of like shady. They want clean as much
Yeah.
as possible. And so a lot of that has a lot to do with positioning, getting things in right positions. Like, okay, so she's going to be talking about that. She's been doing this for how many years? It's not like the first year. Oh, in the first year I'm doing this event. I just want to get on these major platforms so they can promote you. Well, that's not their job to promote you. You
And
can.
here's the thing too, people don't realize
Mhm.
it's when someone's looking for us, it's not just about you, it's mutual. So what do they get out of it? As much
Yes,
as what do you get out of it?
yes, yes. They have to get something out. The media is in business to really get more eyes and ears on their particular outlet and to provide content for their audience.
Yeah.
Interesting content, intriguing content, educational content. So for you to say, well, I just want to get more visibility so I can be famous or what, they're not interested in promoting your event, promoting your book. You have to give them information. That's where clarity of your messages, knowing your purpose, knowing, Nicole, I've known her for many years, has been saying the same messaging over and over and over again. It's clear. People know what to come to her for.
Yeah.
She started doing something else, like, oh, now I'm going to be selling like water
Now I'm gonna start being a
purifier.
sales coach. It's like, really?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
be
like,
an image consultant. It's like, really? So now you're shopping for clothes? Not that I couldn't do it, but a confused mind doesn't buy. And so if someone's not gonna buy from you, why would somebody then put you on their media platform?
right, or bring you to their conference. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, if I'm gonna bring you to my conference, this is what I know she's going to talk about. So
Right.
it's like, if I got to pick three people, I got three people with three different lanes, and this is what it is. But if you say, well, I can speak in all the things, it's like, no, you can't speak in all the things. I
Right.
want a specific lane for you. And
And
that's
maybe can. Look, there's just to be can and should. Because there's a whole lot of stuff I can speak about, but can and should, if it's not in alignment with my brand, I have no business doing it. Matter of fact, by the way, I see more of you joining. So if you have questions, because Pam is dropping nuggets, if you have questions about press or
put
PR
me in
or
the
why
hot.
about publicists or having a publicist, please ask because she's here. So listen, even this segment on Black Doctor, here's how I got this segment. Pam pitched me to be on a show on Black Doctor, not to have my own show, but to have a conversation on, I don't even remember what show it was. It was in 2020. And
Mhm.
because I resonated with that audience that day, and they were looking for someone to fill in some kind of financial aspect, they called Pam and said, hey, do you think that Nicole might be interested? And again, that's all because, and I want you guys to get this because I think so many people think I'm going to start my business, I'm going to call Pam. No,
Gotta be ready.
you got to have some, as my husband would say, you got to have some skin in on the game. You got to have some skin in. So you got to have some things that she can promote.
Yes.
So because I have already been doing this for years, because I already have a blog myself, or no, well, I need to restart my blog. I had a blog then, podcast. I have other media interviews. I have speaking reels and samples, and it makes it easier for someone that you hire to then increase your
Mm,
visibility to actually have the tools to do that.
yeah. And so many times when you think about producers, you think about the editors, they're looking for reasons to say no because they have so many options. You're not the only one. I always tell, what's the biggest misnomer is that, well, my message is good. Oh, they get a lot of pitches. They get about 200 or 300 pitches a week. And
Wow.
so how can they figure out maybe the 50 that they're going to really work with is that they have to go through a process of elimination.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
what I really teach people is like what they're looking for and why you would eliminate it. So if you know there's certain things like if you're, how do I say it? If you're taking the cheap way out and say, well, I'm just going to get, I don't want to put any shade on anything, but I'm going to get a cheap little GoDaddy website. Okay, well, that's gonna eliminate you right away. I'm just gonna tell
Right.
you. It's just not gonna have the juice. And there's so many other things too. You don't have to have thousands and thousands of followers, but you do need to be active and consistent. If you're not, you're going to be deleted. And it's like, no. And one of the things when you are on the show, like Nicole was on CNBC, one of the things is that they want her to promote the show. So they will look at her social media numbers, they look the fact that she's on Twitter, which their main audience is on Twitter. So you want to be where the media is. So they're on Twitter. So they know that once she's on the show, she'll do Instagram, she'll do Facebook, she'll do LinkedIn, she'll put it on Twitter. And that helps promote their show. So what Nicole said earlier, Dr. Nicole said earlier, what are they getting out of it? They're getting out of it the fact that you're promoting that segment.
Yeah.
But also she had to be ready for that segment. So many times people think that I just have a good message. I need to be out there. I speak just as good as that person, but it's more than that. If you look
Mhm.
under the hood, there's so many other moving parts that you don't have available. And digital marketing is a big part of it. I just did a little seminar with a group of job seekers for Jackets for
Mm.
Jobs. And one of the things that says, you can have a great resume and it can just be slamming and you send it to the HR director. I said, but you know what they're going to do? They're going to Google you. And if your
Mhm.
stuff looks raggedy or ratchet, you ain't gonna get the job. Even though the resume may have been perfect, they know that Google doesn't lie. So you have to build your digital platform, build your digital footprint. And that's so important.
It is. It is. And you have to stay ready and not be getting ready. So when Pam called me on, I think it was a Tuesday, and
Yes.
she said, "Can you interview in the next hour?" Now, let me explain to you. I don't look like this every day, okay? So I said, "No problem." I usually work in the gym and I go right in my office. But when I'm on camera, then I go, zhuzh myself up. And I said, "Oh, Lord." And then she said, "Actually, can you do it in the next half hour?" I said yes to her. I didn't tell her that I ran in the bathroom and got some myself together because, listen, you, what's that saying? You never get a second chance to make a first impression. And so if I looked her up and said, "Girl, don't look at how I look. I've been in the gym." They Googled me. All of that looks great, but they show up on camera and I look a hot mess. And my hair is usually like this when I come from the gym. So I was like, "Ooh, let me get it together real quick."
Or
Not
your
only that,
background, your lighting too, because how your lighting is in terms of your set. That is really
so
important.
important. But I'm gonna tell you too, the thing that I think really, but I hate to use this as an example, but put a nail in on coffin. I can't think of any other way to say that, but it literally sealed the deal. Is what I should have said.
Okay.
Is when I was talking to her, she said, "Well, we're gonna," and this is in COVID, mind you. She said, "Well, let me see if I can get a camera crew." I said, "We don't need a camera crew." I said, "I have lights." I said, "Can you hear me well now?" She said, "Yes." I said, "My lights are on. Hold on, I'll turn them on." I turned on all my lights. I had one light on. I turned on all my lights. My mic. I said, "If I sound good to you, I'm good." She said, "Okay, well, we need B-roll." I said, "I have B-roll." She was silent. I said, "You need a filler video, right?" She started laughing because that's what B-roll really is. I said, "I have tons. Tell me what you're looking for. I can send it to you." So I need you guys to get. I know in that moment she said, "Can you do your interview tomorrow?" I said, "Yes."
Mm-hmm.
Because I was able to send her. I said, "I'll send all that to you within the hour." Now, was it easy for me to find? Yes, because I have everything. So I'm not bragging about me. What I am doing is showing you that Pam already knew how I show up. And
Mm-hmm.
because she knew that I would show up that way, she was able to put me in front of such a huge platform. So it's not because I'm good. It's not because because a lot of us have good messaging. It's more than that. It's really the whole package.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is. And when I think about it, is that think about that producer. She has to produce so many segments a week,
Yeah.
and she just made her job easier.
Mhm.
And that's what happens, even with Speakers Magazine, because Nicole's on the cover. She made the job easier for the designer, right? She's not giving pictures that aren't the right look. So when we look at certain other things too, we want to make sure that our bios are correct. We want to make sure that our pictures are correct. Make the job easier for the designer, for the publisher,
Yeah.
whoever it is that's in the media outlet. If they got to struggle with your bio, they got to struggle with your photos, if they got to struggle with, okay, I can't find their website, what's their website name, oh, it's not their name, it's something else, what was it again? If they have to struggle, they're going to move past you and go to someone else who's easy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really the bottom line. You got to make that very, very easy. Stephanie says, oh yes, thank you, Stephanie. She said you have amazing energy too. That's
Love
look
it.
for energy.
Love it.
You have to have energy, because a lot of the magazines too that that are digital magazines, they look for video as well as, doing the story. So I
Mm.
might say, Nicole, okay, so Authority Magazine, they're going to do a story, but they also need you to answer these questions on video. She can't read it like she's like half.
Hi, mine. You want to know the other? It's like, really?
So it's like, no, that's going to be bad for them. They're like, nope, she's not ready. So you have to have that energy. And
Yeah.
part of it is just really being passionate about your message, knowing your purpose, really just understanding and having clarity. Clarity is so key, and knowing clarity in terms of who your messaging is for, and knowing what that outlet is, what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So Nicole may be different on Rashawn McDonald's show on Money Making Conversations than she would be on another one, because she knows what Money Making Conversations, they want to talk about money. So maybe on Soul Well with Dr. Vicky, she
Mhm.
may want to talk about more spiritual things. So she
Mhm.
knows when to shift to that audience, because
Yeah.
the media outlet brought her in, and she knows what that audience is about. So sometimes people don't even know what kind of outlet they're going on, and they're just going to talk
Right.
the same message. And I was
Which is
like,
fine too, but
like,
what's
what?
interesting is you got to stay in your lane. And so when people call me and ask me, like I remember a woman called me and asked me to be on this nonprofit panel. Now, technically, my master's degree is nonprofit. Could I do it? Yes. Not what I teach in my business. So, in my humble opinion, that would have been irresponsible, because I said this a few minutes ago, y'all. For 45 minutes, I sit on a panel, and the person needs more, and I go, "Oh, girl, I can't help you." So that's kind of jacked up. So I got you excited. I site. We lost Pam. She'll be back. There she is. We we got you ready. We got you in this insight, and then I just say sorry. I can't help you.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Or I've seen people do this, and I've seen people do this. I've been on a panel, and the person asks them a question, they can't answer it, which means to me that they're out of their league. They shouldn't be on this panel. They don't know what they're talking about. Because
Mm.
you never know what someone's going to ask you, whether you're on a panel, whether you're on a podcast. Someone's going to ask you a question. If it's not your expertise, then you should not be doing it. You can't Google while you're on a panel, like, "Ooh, let me look this up real quick." Yeah, no,
And
can't do
and
that.
I want to say too, being well prepared, being engaging is important, whether you're online or in person. Using strong visuals in terms of your overall image and your brand.
Yeah.
Nicole, you're really good at this. You said like maybe in another time you could have been like an image consultant. You really could, because you pulled together the image, the visual presentations, just like we look at
Mm.
graphics. People look at our body language as that as well, and what we have on is part of it as well. So
Yeah.
it's your overall personal PR package, your
Yeah.
personal PR package of how you look, what you dress, if it's in person, how you smell. Not necessarily like whether it's good or bad, but just the
Right.
fragrance of that is that's we're getting to all the senses, the smell, touch, all of those things is part of that whole
Whole
brand,
package.
part personal PR package.
Yeah.
And I just can't stress enough, Google yourself, you know and see
Mhm.
what comes up. If you don't have your name.com, please do that.
Listen, and when I got my PhD, Pam, the first text was congratulations. The second was by Dr. Nicole Roberts-Jones.com. I said, oh, and then I would have never thought of that either.
It was, because you would hate for someone else to have it, because it's only
Right.
one. You can only have that one. It's like a your social security number. You can't get another one. That's it. So it's like Dr. Nicole Roberts Jones.com. I was like,
I was
yeah,
like, oh my God. And I got it really quick. So, Pam and I can talk for the next 5 hours, probably next 5 days straight, because that's, she's become my girlfriend in addition to being my publicist. So, and look,
I
our
call it
husbands are now
right.
friends and they text each other messages. I'm like, oh Lord, we done started something now. But anyway, tell them about your free gift that you're giving out
Yes.
today.
So it's a free ebook, and it really is like a roadmap of how to really get out there, get known, how to be heard. And it's really a digital roadmap of the basic pieces that you need. And I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. It's just a roadmap. So even if you get one section of the book and move to the next section, whether it's blogging, podcasting, but knowing what the rationale is, because people will
Mhm.
tell you to do all the tactics. This book gives you the rationale, like why it's important, why SEO is important, why it is you need to blog, what is the RSS feed. So without being real techie, it's not a real techie book, but it gives you the rationale so that when people say, well, you need to get on TikTok, you'll say, well, no, not really, because SEO is probably better for me on YouTube, or you'll have the rationale of why. Because I always tell people, I said, don't just do things, know why you're doing it.
Mhm.
End game is what is
Right.
your end game do you want to do? Because Nicole's end game may be different from, say, Dr. Stacy may have something else that is
Mhm.
her, so you can't say I'm going to do the same thing Dr. Stacy does, because her end game is different. So but
Mhm.
understanding the whole basics of the digital
Yeah.
landscape is what you get in the ebook, and I really want people to understand that, especially our people, especially Black people. I
Yeah.
want us to not feel like there's a digital divide. There's no digital divide. You just got
No,
to learn
right.
it.
Yeah, the only divide is for lack of knowledge. So instead
Yes.
of sitting in unknowing, get with an expert that can teach you. And this
Yes.
is what Pam does. So Dr. Pam. So with that, perrypr.com/ebook, get your copy. And those of you that are saying, but I need to work with Pam, guess what? You're gonna be in her email list. So you'll find out ways if you're ready. And if not, she has ways to get you
Oh,
ready
I'm
as
sorry. She
well.
said it isn't connecting. It's PamPerryPR.com. I'm sorry.
Oh, Pam Perry. See, I done messed up. That was me. Hold on, y'all. Let me fix it.
Yes. Thank you,
Pam Perry.
Stephanie.
Pam Perry. See, this is what
Stephanie is
happens when we're
on it.
talking. Look, we were
Stephanie
talking. I'm gonna be honest, we were talking before we started. Yeah, this is what happens when you're talking to your girlfriend before you
is
start.
thank you,
PamPerryPR.com/ebook. Again, Pam Perry.
Stephanie.
PR.com. So, and I know her website. I don't know how I missed that up, but anyway,
I missed it too.
PamPerryPR.com. So with that, Pam, thank you for joining us, giving such great nuggets. Thank you for all you do, and thank you for just being my rock and my shield. Let me not go
Yes.
into a spiritual thing. I love you and I appreciate you.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you so much, Dr. Nicole. And one of the things that you always said is be the answer. And so really just people walking in their whole purpose. You teach them how to do that. You give them courses of doing that. And
Yeah.
if you are the answer, you're the solution to someone, you really are in what our other friend says, you're in alignment with your assignment, right? So
Yes, yes.
Nicole says that as well. So yeah, that's what
Thank you, girl. Thank you. Thank you. So, with that, y'all, that's the end of this segment. But before you go, I always have a gift for you as well. Some of you are at a place where you're ready to start your business or grow your business. So, Pam is giving you a template to teach you a roadmap to teach you how you use PR. And some of you need the template to start the front end to build the business so that you have a business that then needs PR. So, if that's you, I'm going to show a quick commercial and then I'll come back and close out this episode. The purpose to profit business space is flooded with courses and coaches and all kinds of hype, all promising to help you get results, but ultimately only adding to your overwhelm and frustration. Now, these are three main reasons business owners and alongsiders struggle to create a business that aligns with their purpose and generates massive income with impact. Number one, unclear messaging. Number two, work and or tech overwhelm. And number three, lack of having a solid strategy. Now, do any of those sound familiar? Now, I've heard these three struggles and pains in my experience serving and talking with amazing folks worldwide. But these are only symptoms of a much more significant issue. The real problem is a lack of a clear point A to point B system that's easy to follow. A clear roadmap that's been proven to help people just like you discover their purpose and create a business out of it so that you can sell, fulfill, and manage every way that you serve your clients and have the freedom of a business that works both for you and allows you to feel that you're not gaining just for your pocketbook, but that you're gaining for God and no time flat. Now, listen, the good news is that if you're struggling with these issues, I will give you some very clear, proven, and easy to implement steps you can use right away to overcome these challenges so you can get more freedom and sales without stress or frustration. Ready? Get the insider secrets and download my free gift to you by going to bmaroadmap.com. And that's it. So if you're ready, you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do, or anywhere in between, you know that your message isn't clear. And Pam and I talked a lot about that. The problem is so many of you think your message is clear and it's not. You don't understand tech, you get overwhelmed by technology, or you don't even know what technology to use, or you need solid strategy, or you need all three. The BMA roadmap, as Pam said, and I love how she says that it walks you through all of the steps and it gives you crystal clear A to B strategy. So if that's what you need is free, go to bmaroadmap.com. All right. So with that, that's it for this episode of Bankroll Your Brains Thursdays. Again, thank you, Dr. Pam Perry, for coming in. Here's the free gift one more time from Pam. Pam Perry. So I'm about to mess it up again. PamPerryPR.com/ebook. All right. So with that, I'll be back next Thursday for another episode. If we've given you any value, can you do me a favor? Number one, will you share it here? And Stephanie said, thank you, Dr. Pam and Nicole. You are so welcome. So if we've given you any insight, any value, number one, can you write in here the value you got? Number two, I'll ask you to share it. Not because I'm trying to grow my following, but here is why I do this segment. So many people need more insight. So many of us as a Black community, listen, if we band together like other communities did, can you imagine how fruitful the African American diaspora communities all over the world could be? And so I ask you to share it so that there's somebody in your village that you're connected to that needs this insight. All right. And you probably don't know it. All right. So with that, again, thank you for joining me for this episode. I'll see you again next Thursday, 12 p.m. EST for another Bankroll Your Brains Thursdays. Bye, y'all.